What's up, wavers? Welcome to PhD in Waves. In today's video, I'm going over a simple and easy way to get waves. I got my waves in about a week by doing this method. So it's pretty much 5 steps. So the first step that you want to do is you want to get a low cut. If you have longer hair, you want to get about a 2 guard. Depending on your hair texture, you might be able to get a 1.5. And if your hair is a little bit looser, you could get like a 3 guard with the grain. So this is all with the grain. 1.5 with the grain, or a 2 guard with the grain, or a 3 guard with the grain, depending on your hair texture. The reason you want to get a low cut is because this is when your hair is most manageable, and that's very important when you're trying to get waves. People always come to me and they're like, yo, my hair won't lay down, my hair keeps curling up. That's because the longer your hair is, the harder it is to manage. So I always recommend getting a low cut. That way it's easy to brush and it's easy to move into place. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do when it comes to waves is you want to wear a do-rag every single night. But before you wear the do-rag, brushing. Brushing is super important. You want to brush for 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night. That's going to have your waves trained and laid. And then at night, you want to wear a do-rag every single night. The do-rag is going to keep your hair nice and laid, and it's also going to prevent your hair from frizzing up, getting dry, and moving out of place. So first, get a low cut, brush for 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, and then you also want to wear a do-rag every single night. So that's the first 3 things. Now let's move on to the 4th thing. Let's get into products. So when it comes to products, there's a bunch of different products that you can use, but I'm just going to group it into 4 categories of products. So you have your leave-in conditioners, or your moisturizers, or your moisturizing creams. This is going to hydrate your hair. And then you have your oils. Oils are basically going to seal in the moisture, and it's going to lubricate your hair and add shine. So those are my 2 main products that I've been using. I pretty much use leave-in conditioner, and then I also use an oil to lock in that moisture. That's very important. The oil is going to coat your hair, and it's going to lock in that moisture. Now let's move on to pomades. I don't use pomades, but pomades do have their place. If you're experiencing a lot of frizz, and if you just want a quick way to get that shiny, laid down look, you can use a pomade. The reason I don't use pomades is because they build up on my scalp and my hair, and they're kind of hard to wash out, and they might have some ingredients that aren't the best for your hair and your scalp. But if you're struggling to get your hair to lay down, that can be a good option for you. Now let's move on to butters. Butters are similar to pomades, but they're not as strong. Butters are kind of like oils. They're going to add shine, they're going to lubricate, and they're also going to lock in moisture and add softness. So when it comes to products, you can basically apply them 2 to 3 times a week. So basically what I would do is after I wash my hair, I would apply a leave-in conditioner to moisturize, and then I would use an oil to seal in that moisture. And those would pretty much be the products that I use, right? You could also do a leave-in conditioner and then use a pomade, or you could use a leave-in conditioner and use a butter. I like to limit my products to 1 or 2 because I don't want to add so many products to my hair where it's starting to build up. And then I would probably apply products every other day or every 2 to 3 days. Then, last but not least, let's go over washing your hair. So you could either do the wash and style, which is going to keep your hair laid down. This is basically when you brush your hair into place with shampoo, and then you smooth your hair down. You put on the do-rag, and then you rinse your hair out. That's the best way to wash your hair. Or you could do a scramble wash. This goes back to having a low cut. When I have a low cut, like a 2 guard, I don't necessarily do the wash and style because I could simply scramble wash and then just brush my hair back into place. The wash and style is great when your hair doesn't want to lay down. And I do recommend it all the time, but sometimes you don't want to go through that whole process. You just want to go in the shower and get out. But those are your 2 options. Okay, I forgot one thing. Let's talk about haircuts. So you know how I said in the beginning of the video, I was like, start with a 2 guard? When it comes to haircuts, I recommend getting haircuts every month. So you want to trim your hair back down to a 2-guard every single month. So every 4 weeks, you could trim your hair down to a 2-guard or to a 3-guard, depending on your curl length. For me, I trim my hair down to a 1.5 or a 2-guard. But if your hair is a little bit looser, you do have to keep your hair a little bit longer so you don't lose your curls. So in between those 4 weeks that you get haircuts, you could either get shape-ups or you could get tapers where they just taper the sides and they don't really touch the majority of your hair. So yeah, that's pretty much the easy and simple way to get waves, right? You basically want to get a low cut so your hair is manageable. You're going to brush, and then sooner or later your hair is going to start to see ripples, and then you're going to start to see connections. So pretty much that's how you get waves. You want to start with a low cut. Don't start with your hair so long that you can't move it into place and it's not really laying down and it's frizzy and it's over curling. You want to start with a low cut. Get in those brush sessions, brush every day and every night. Wear your do-rag to keep your hair protected. Keep your hair moisturized. Wash and style. And then in about 1 to 2 weeks, you will have some waves if you have a curly hair texture. If your hair doesn't curl, you cannot get waves. As far as products, I'm going to link all the products you need as far as moisturizers, oils, shampoo bars in the description, brushes in the description. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.